when they helped me book into an hotel, we had the guy carried us to the hotel at that time. He We booked into the hotel that night, and okay, I was like, Holy Spirit, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just flowing with you. And I thought that we were staying at that hotel, and he's like, no, you need to move from that hotel and go up the road. I'm like, Lord, this this is, you just be stressing me out. You just be stressing me out. Like literally, I feel so stressed because no, I had to move from this hotel, but the hotel was for one night. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna book 3 nights. I'm gonna book 3 nights now. He's like, you need to move from that hotel now and go up the road. So I'm like, okay. And then the people them at the hotel come and say that you can only stay here for one night. So I'm like, okay. I took some deep breaths, went outside, look at taxi, packed my kids up, packed the stuff up, draw the things down the stairs. I was struggling with the guys' luggage at this point because I have a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old at that time. Like, anyways, I'm like, okay, God, so I'm gonna do that. So I did that. We got into a taxi, and like every one of the hotels that we checked along the road, they did not accept mother kids at that hotel. But God knew exactly what he was doing because he wanted me to stay at one specific hotel. So when I got to that hotel and I was talking to the girl, she was super super nice, and I was like, hey, how much for a room? And she told me the price, and the Holy Spirit said, book the room with the AC. And I'm like, okay. So I did that. I got the room with the AC, and me and my kids we paid for that for 3 nights. So he was like, take the kids down to the beach because there was a beach right there. Take them out at the top of the balcony. So I did that. And when the 3 days came for us to go home, but remember, we don't have a home. We're homeless at this point. And thank you, Holy Spirit. Bear in mind, I have places that I could go to my mom's, but the Holy Spirit did not send me there, so I could not disobey what he said. He said go here, and that's what I was doing. I was moving at his command, moving at whatever he says that I needed to do. So he told me on the third day I was like at 12 o'clock, the time was up, and I'm like, okay, God, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? He's like, take your bags, put them in the office, the front office, and then you go up at the top. That was a specific instruction. I'm like, God, this is ghetto. But God knew that when we went up at the top, the owner for the hotel would have saw me and my kids and saw that we were out there for an extended period of time, and he would put us. I don't plan on crying. I don't plan on crying. I don't plan on crying. He would put us in a place he would put us in a place. He put us in 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. He put us up for 7 days. An additional 7 days. So we stayed at that hotel for 10 days in total. So I paid for 3, and the owner put us up in that hotel for 7 days. 7 days. We got food morning and we got food. Me and my kids got food every day. Every day. Oh my God, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. Every day we got breakfast in the morning,
in the evening we got dinner. They make sure that we eat every day. I'm gonna insert videos to show you that when God has you on a journey, He will provide. I didn't even carry any tissues. I didn't plan on crying. I really did not plan on crying. As you on a journey, He will provide. He will provide for you when He has you on a journey. And if you're someone out there right now that does not know what God is putting you through, I just want to say that whatever He tells you to do, just do it. Whatever He tells you to do, just do it. He will provide. He will lead you. Pray for peace over your mind throughout your entire journey. A lot of times I felt like giving up. And this I'm using to be brutally honest. I felt like giving up, like, God, why am I going through this? I used to be so comfortable in my comfort zone. Like, I wasn't, like, people would think that my journey that I'm going through right now, like, I did something to God, and I didn't. I didn't do anything. God just decided that, okay, I know what I have inside of you. I'm going to put you through this because the persons that are coming behind you, they're going to have a same testimony. They're going to need you to say that they can do it because you did it. I'm like, God, that's so... Why me? I used to ask myself, why me, God? Why me? Out of everybody that's in this world, why me? Out of everybody in my family, why you had to pick me? And it's like, girl, you're the one that will break curses in your family. You're the one that I'm calling to be a trailblazer. You're the one that I'm calling to be a trailblazer. You're the one that I'm calling to go first. You're the one that I'm calling out to do this. It's not that I'm picking on you. It's just that I know that what is inside of you, I have a need for what is inside of you. So they put us up for 10 days. We left and we had to leave after the 7 days free that they gave us up. After that morning we left and we went to like a funeral, and we went to a funeral. I had to pack up all my things because we could not go back to that hotel, so we went to a funeral. So after the funeral, I was at a particular location for a few hours because I was like, God, so what are we gonna do next? We don't have anywhere to stay, we don't have anywhere to go. What should I do? So a few persons had sold into me, and he was like, okay, you're going to go to this particular location. And I was like, okay. So I went to the location, and after I went to the location, I stayed the location. We reached at the location minutes to 11 in the night, so we stayed at that location. And when we stayed at that location, we woke up in the morning because our time was going to be up at 11 in the morning, and our time was going to, so girl's been talking a lot. I wanted some water to drink. My lips are dry. Okay, so we woke up that morning and I was crying. I was in the bathroom, I was crying. My kids were sleeping. One thing I want to say with regards to your journey and your journey with God, you'll do a lot of things that does not seem carnal, and people would want to talk you out of what it is that you're doing. I can't tell you how many people on my journey has said, you're not supposed to be doing that. What are you doing with the kids? You're like this is a torture for them. Like, why don't you go at your family? I got that one remarks. Why don't you go back to your family? What are you doing to the kids? Like, this is not good for the kids. For them to be moving here, there, and everywhere. I'm like, people will want to try to talk you out of what God told you to do. But are you going to do what God said, or are you going to listen to what people say? Like, people don't know your journey. People don't know what God has you doing. So you're going to look at Bobo the fool when you're doing things with God, because everything that God has me done does not make sense. It does not make sense to me at that point with my carnal mind and my carnal thinking. So when you're going through your journey with regards to God, be mindful of the people that want to come and put their mouth on it and say, okay, I think you should do it that way, I think you should do it this way. Do what God told you to do. Remember this girl on YouTube just randomly popping up on your YouTube page telling you to do what God told you to do, and only do what God told you to do and nothing else. You don't care about what anybody else say. You do what God says you should do. Forget the namesayers, forget whatever everybody else is telling you. Anyway, so we were at that place. I was crying in the morning because we had to leave at 11 and I did not know what we were going to do. So I was like, God, what should I do now? And he's like, okay, I need you to call this person and that person. So I called one of the persons that he said that I needed to call. And I was like, hey, I'm going through this. Me and the kids are homeless. We don't have anywhere to go. Also, the place that I was living before, the rent was due, and the lady was like, hey, you need to get out. I need the place. I need the place to rent because you've been there and you're no longer paying rent and whatever. I'm like, okay. So I called the person and I told the person that, and he's like, the person was like, okay, I'm gonna call this. He was gonna call his mom and his sister, and they actually helped me out. He's a very, very good friend. He called his mom and his sister, and from that time until now, I'm actually staying at their place. So that's how God has also blessed me with somewhere to stay. Somewhere to stay for a while. This one bedroom place, just me and my kids. I'm trusting him for, like, you know, like a more comfortable space for me and my kids, like, you know, like our own space. It's not like something is wrong with where we are, but you know, like our own space, fully furnished place where we can, or we can actually buy our apartment. So I'm trusting in him for that. So that's it for this part of my story and what he is allowing me to share so far. So at this moment that this video is being recorded, I'm still at that place that he told me to call the person, and I'm grateful that for the last few months I am not able to pay rent, light, or any bills at all, and God has been providing for me and my kids continuously. Like, I have so much testimony of the goodness of God, even though my 2024 did not go how I thought it would have gone. I've worked on self-development, I've worked on my personal development, I've upskilled and worked on my business, and I'm still working on my business. I've grown my relationship with God. I've grown, me myself has grown so much spiritually, and I'm just extremely grateful for that. So that is it. I'll see you in my next video.